I chose to do my author study on Shel Silverstein. Shel Silverstein is an American poet. He's an illustrator. He writes children's stories, and he even had a career in songwriting. He was born in 1930 in Chicago, Illinois, and he began to write and draw pictures at a young age and just kind of honed his skill all through school. Some of his best known works are The Giving Tree, as well as his collections like A Light in the Attic, which is a collection of poetry, and Where the Sidewalk Ends, and Falling Up, as well as other short stories. My personal favorite of his are The Giving Tree, which has a really great message, and I also love Where the Sidewalk Ends. That was one of the first books of poetry I ever read, and to this day it's still one of my favorites. Silverstein had a very successful career. His books to this day continue to top the list of bestsellers. When he released A Light in the Attic, it went on to break records when it was released, and it stayed on top of the New York Times best-selling list for 182 weeks, according to thefamouspeople.com. Not only was Silverstein a writer of children's poetry and stories, but he also was a songwriter. He wrote Johnny Cash's song, A Boy Named Sue. He wrote, I think, Loretta Lynn's song, One on the Way. So he also had a career in songwriting. I think one of the things that Silverstein is best known for is his ability to present more adult themes to children in a way that they can understand it better. For example, his poem Masks is about two people who each had blue skin, so they put on a mask and walked through life with the mask always on, always looking for someone else who was like them. But when they encountered each other, they didn't know because they both had masks, so they never found each other. And I think that that speaks to children about the message that, be proud of who you are and things like that. And I don't think that kids get that message taught a lot at the young age that Silverstein was writing to. So I'm going to read a couple poems by him, a couple of my favorites. This first one is called Listen to the Mustn'ts. It's one of my favorites. Listen to the mustn'ts, child, listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves, then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child, anything can be. And this poem is cool because he capitalizes all these negative words, and then at the end he capitalizes anything to show that anything can happen. Another one of my favorites is called Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are big as rocks, I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin, my belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained, my appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb, I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak, I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth, I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight, my temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear, there is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is, what? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. And these are his illustrations also. And then I have one more that I wanted to share. It's called Oops. And this one is really cool because it's written in the tree and you have to read it upside down. If you read it upside down, it says, my poems all come out upside down. I cannot turn them all around. I do try, but can't I found. My poems all come out upside down. I think that's a fun one. So those are a few of my favorite Shel Silverstein poems. They all came from Where the Sidewalk Ends. A good activity that I found to do for Shel Silverstein was about The Giving Tree, this book, which has a really good message about kindness and compassion and caring for others. One activity I found, which could be done like all year long, was this on Pinterest. So you make this tree in your classroom, and then when students do something nice for someone in their family or for each other, then they can write it on one of these apples and put it on the giving tree. And I think that would be a fun one to do all year round, so you could read the book at the beginning of the year and teach a lesson on it, and then just have that activity all year, and then at the end of the year they could take home all the nice things that they did. So that one's a cool one. Or a shorter term craft, you make this tree and they can write things that they can give to other people to show kindness. So that's a couple fun activities to do about Shel Silverstein. He's a great author, and I think he'd be a really good one to teach about in elementary schools.